Hey girl, it's Wahima. I am a 38-year-old cisgendered female from Southern California. Today's video is a Q&A. I have gotten so much love and support from you guys ever since I started to share this journey, and I post on Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram. I asked on Instagram for you guys to give me any questions that you have regarding this process, and I would do my best to answer. And you guys really came through. So in this video, I'm going to be answering a couple of questions from you guys. All right, so the first question that I have is, what made you want to make this decision? What motivated you? Then someone else asked me a similar question too. What made you decide this route to become a parent? I don't know if you guys follow me on my other YouTube channel, Just Call Me Wah, where I do comedy reviews on reality TV, but I am single and I am 38, and I did a fertility test with the company Modern Fertility, and it told me that I had low ABH, which is the chemical that is produced when you have egg production. And so my egg production is on the low side for someone who is trying to get pregnant. So it was now or never. Not never, but it was, you need to start getting on this now. As much as I look young on the outside, my inside is right on par with how old I am. So the next question I had was, is it expensive? Yes. The next question I have is, why IVF and not AI, which is artificial insemination, or IUI. So the reason why I chose IVF is because I have the diminished ovarian reserve, because my ABH is low. So I did not want to try IUI and have that fail, because with IUI, it would cost me about $2,000 every 2 months, sperm included, to try to get pregnant. If my left fallopian tube is clogged and my ovaries in general aren't producing that many eggs, it would kind of be throwing money at a process that is much more up to chance than if I did IVF. Whereas artificial insemination or IUI, with my personal reproductive system, the chances of me actually getting pregnant are much, much lower. I could take the time and the money that I'm going to spend doing artificial insemination and put it towards IVF. The next question is, are you single? Yes, super single. Forever, for all of my life. Another question is, do the doctors know why the fibroids keep reoccurring? In general, I do not think there's much research done on fibroids, besides the fact that a lot of women of color, specifically Black women, have them. They grow during your most fertile times, and they can cause cramping, heavy periods, abnormal periods. They can cause a slew of issues. If you are still in the fertility, high fertility time of your life, due to the hormones, they will continue to grow if you take them out earlier. So that's why a lot of women, or a lot of doctors, suggest that you take them out later, because the chances of them growing kind of decrease once you creep towards menopause. Libby Bahama asks, how are you going to pick a sperm donor? Okay. So basically, I've been looking on California Cryobank, and you can pay for a membership, or you can start with the free membership. And paying for the membership means that you get to get a little bit more detail about the person. You get to see an adult picture of them, serious genetic testings they may have had. Some sperm banks require the man to write a note so that you can hear his words. I don't know if California Cryobank does it. I haven't really jumped into choosing a sperm donor yet, because I'm not even close to the IVF process. And so it would be kind of a waste of my time to look for a sperm donor now, when who knows if their sperm would be available when I'm ready to inseminate. But I did look to see what the variety was, and I have to say that there's not a lot of variety with the type of men that I would be looking for. But hopefully, within the next year, or since the last time I looked, there will be more options. You just never know. I guess the question is probably asking what kind of specimen. And my cousin also had this question too. I will be looking for a Black man. I don't want to bring another culture of child into this world when I cannot help them to discover it. So if the sperm donor is African American, that would be ideal, because I know a little something about African American culture. I'm up to any kind of Caribbean culture, because I can also speak to that as well. I'm also up to an African culture. I can dive into the Igbo culture. I've got some Nigerian friends, and I'd be like, teach this child, I want to choose like a Black culture that I at least have some kind of access to, so that if my child asks me about their culture, I'm able to tell them. What is the healing process for fibroids? That question I'm going to have to answer in another video. I haven't said this to anyone yet, and by the time you guys see this video, I definitely will have already had my surgery. However, I got approved for my surgery, so I am going to have surgery if I don't have COVID-19. I'm going to have surgery February 12th, and so today I actually have my pre-op, so I'm going to go do that today. How did you find out about the fibroids? Did you have initial symptoms? So I found out about the fibroids when I was in my early 30s. I just had a regular lady checkup, pap smear or whatnot, and they told me that I had them. Also, because I was anemic, I've always been anemic. It's something that they were like, okay, you might have a fibroid, and I know my mother had them, so it was just kind of assumed that I did. I can't remember the exact time that I figured it out, but I didn't realize that the fibroids were causing the heavy periods I've had for the last 4 or 5 years until about 3 years ago in 2017. So I'm going to link my video about my fibroids here so that you can see that and get more information about what I knew about fibroids. Why do you have to wait a full year for IVF after the fibroid surgery? The reason why I have to wait is because they are taking the fibroids out of my uterus, suturing up the incisions that they make on my uterus, and it's going to take a full year for my uterus to completely heal. I don't know that they know it needs to take a full year, but just to be safe, just to ensure that I can carry, it would be best if my uterus could have a full entire year to heal. Because you know, when you have a baby, the uterus, and if any of those incisions were to split, or if they were to, you know, be weak at that point, be thinner at that point, it could cause harm to me and the child. What do your parents think about you deciding to be a single mom? My dad is just at the age, you know, he's 73, where he's just like, yeah, I would like to see my next generation, please. My dad is like full on board supporting me about it. Like, he's just like, whatever, it didn't happen, it didn't happen. I think my dad thinks that I'm like made a choice, and that like either I'm lesbian or that I just don't want a partner. I've just like pushed all the men away. I think that's what he thinks. Once you reach a certain age, like, what are they gonna do? Like, what is the repercussion? They could feel some kind of way about this, but it's like, do you want the next generation or no? Do you want me to stay, you know, single and childless forever just because I didn't find somebody, or no? Like, what is it that you want? At some point, you have to just like give in to whatever is happening in someone's life. Now, if I was younger, I think this would be a bigger deal. But the fact is that I'm almost 40. Like, what's anybody gonna do? I also have fibroids. At what point did you make the decision to get them removed? When I realized that I could not, well, initially it was because I was bleeding so heavy. So I was like, okay, this is what I'll do because it's affecting my daily life. And then when I realized that not only was it affecting my daily life and it was stopping me from having a child, it was like, oh, let's cut it all out, you know? I would say if you are done having your children and you are in your late 30s, early 40s, and the fibroids are causing you issue, they're just messing up your daily life, go ahead and get them removed. They will grow back, but they're not gonna grow back as big or at the same rate as they did initially, or they would if you were still in your, you know, peak fertility time. Have you tried homeopathic methods to relieve the condition? Yes, I actually started drinking some tea from this lovely woman named the Alkaline Goddess, and she's from New Orleans. And I was like, ooh, I love this. I'm into this, whatever this is. This like Mother Earth, you know, natural, you know, you learned it from your mama type situation. However, those kind of methods take a long time for them to start making any leeway. And I had been drinking the tea for about 4 months, and it doesn't taste good, girl. And I had to drink it 3 times a day. And so I had to carry it around with me to work and stuff, like brew it every night, drink it at room temperature, girl, like do all this stuff. And it just got tedious. So I stopped because I didn't see any different in my, menstrual cycle. And what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to shrink the fibroids. However, I will do it now that I'm having the surgery. I'm going to start drinking that tea religiously for this next year. Like at this point, I'm throwing everything at my uterus, everything at these fibroids in order to get the ones that are going to still be left behind shrunken and keeping the other ones from growing. All right, you guys, so that is the end of this video. I do have more questions, and I will be doing another Q&A video, and I will be actually asking you guys if you have any questions for me throughout this process. So please save up your questions or ask me at any time, and I will try to get it in a video. All right, you guys, have a fantastic week, and remember, all you can do is your best. All right, bye.